Good day, one and all. Welcome to this episode of the Scrap and Crafty Gardener. Today is my craft haul from the Adventures in Stamping Rubber Stamp and Scrapbook Convention that was just held this past weekend at the John Knight Center in Akron, Ohio. It was a wonderful show, and they already have the dates for next year, which is a good thing. So that I can plan in advance. Let me see if I can find when the next date is. There are some shops that have some coupons. A paper crafting store has that's a morning special. Some of them have online specials. Let me see here. There's a Stamp Away has an online show and class registration in May. That's July 30th through August 2nd at Cincinnati, Ohio. All right, let me see if I can find the dates for next year already, because that is what I really need to see. Oh, yeah, here we go. Plan for next year. Adventures in Stamping returns April 24th through the 26th at the John Knight Center in Akron, Ohio. Now, I set aside money from every month's budget in order to spend, because this is where I get most of my haul products. Other than my GinaK and Simon Says stamps, I mainly get my shopping done once a year. So I have to budget aside an amount each and every month so that I have the money to spend. So I'm going to show you what I spent. I'm going to start with Gary Berlin, which is also the Cleveland Art Supply. I got myself one of these quickie glue pens that I use quite often. They're $3.50 each. And now my friend Marcia, who couldn't go with us this year, wanted 4. So I picked up 4 for her. So those weren't all for me. And then I picked up more of my glue dots. These are called Zots. I have the small petite, the medium size. In fact, I just used these on the video I made yesterday. The minuscule dots. And then there was a new one that I found this year that I hadn't seen before. These are 3D Zots. Sometimes when I want a little dimension but not as fat as a foam strip, I'll take one of those little glue dots and ball it up. And now I won't have to do that. These are 3-dimensional. And these were $5 a box. And I got just 1 box of each. I also got more of my VersaFine Clair Nocturne. I got in the Nocturne, and there's my other Nocturne. So I got 2 more. That should last me through the year. And then I also picked that up in Morning Mist, which is like a medium gray. I thought that would be nice for stamping where I don't really want a black border if I'm going to like stencil or ink blend with that. And then I also picked it up in Pine Cone. Then I got another one of the Versamark watermark stamp pads. I'm using that more. And these were all $9 each. And I did get some Tim Holtz colors that I didn't have. Cracked Pistachio, Evergreen Bough, Crushed Olive. I got these in Distress inks. I wanted Distress Oxides in these colors, but I couldn't see those in the Oxide. But the Oxide, I did get Fossilized Amber and Lost Shadow. And these were, I want to say these were $7 a piece. There's no sticker on those, but those were $7 each. Then I stocked up on Stickles, and boy did I, because these were $2.49, and he has them at this price on his website. So I got the whites that I run out of, the Crystal, Stardust, Icicle, Unicorn. I got a couple Twinkle, got a couple Unicorn and a couple Stardust. So those won't run out for a while. And then I picked up some colors because I want to try playing with Stickles more. I got Black Diamond, and you can see it. It looks like a black diamond the way it sparkles. So I'm anxious to try that. And then this one is called Steel. And look at the sparkle of that. It's like a dark gray, almost a pewter. And Copper. I can see I'm going to use that one. I didn't get all of the colors. I was tempted, but I had my budget. And I got Cool Mint. Hibiscus, which is like a really bright pink. Sunburst. It's hard to see the glitter in that on the camera, I think. And then yellow. Seafoam, though that's not what I think of when I think of seafoam. This, to me, this looks more like a yellow olive green, but it is pretty, so I wanted to try that color. This is palm leaf. Gilded gold, which is like a darker, not quite as shiny gold. Sunflower. I'm getting it off camera. Trying to get up where you can see it a little bit better so you can see the colors. This one is very interesting. This one's called Cosmic. It's like a purple with pink and blue glitter. I'm anxious to try this. Yeah, I want to try that out. And then I have rose gold at $2.49 a bottle versus what, $6 to $9 on Amazon. I couldn't go wrong. And this one's called Confetti. It's also like a black, but it has red, yellow, blue, green, gold. I think I said all the colors that were in there. That glitter is just spectacular. And then I loved this. This is called True Blue. Now, Stickles dry flat, unlike the liquid pearls that will dry domed up like a pearl. And then my last one was Platinum. And that is really pretty. All right. I also got a Uniball gold gel pen and then a white gel pen, and that by Uniball. Okay, and that, oh, and a silver. And that is all I got from Gary Berlin. And then from stamponit.net, also Eureka stamps. I got some butterfly outline stamps. And then they had these that are like, they're like sequins, only they're flat stickers. I got that in kind of a, that's gold with pinks and blues and yellows. It's holographic. And then this is silver. Now these were $1.99 a piece. And I got, this looks blue on camera, but that is a bright, vivid purple. And this is like a Christmas green. Red. And that's a pretty pink. Almost like a rosy pink. And then just a lighter blue. And then I got the butterflies in silver. And then, of course, I had to get this. This is a window with a cat. And I got that in black and silver and gold. Now, I hope my friend Marcia's not watching. She couldn't go with us. She loves dragonflies. So I picked her up 2 packs of the dragonflies stickers. So I better put those over with her pile. And then this, I'm going to have to make a card with it. This is a gorgeous big flower. And they used their glitter film behind that flower. So I'm going to make a card with that. I got that in silver and gold. And then I use the line stickers a lot. So I got them in gold, silver, and I have not had the black before. So I got 2 packs of the black, and they're just like lines you pull off and you put on your cards. And then this is copper. Okay. And then I got from them also, these were $2.99. This is the tool I was excited about. I got to get it open with my scissors. This is, I'm sure, it's called the picking tool. And I'm sure you guys have used it. This end you can use for flattening things or as scraper. But let me see. Let me get a foam dot here. This is for picking up foam dots. You just poke it and pick it up. And then once you have it where you want it, of course it's not stuck down. So let me see. It takes the cover off so I don't have to use my fingers anymore. It'll take the cover right off your foam. That was exciting. So I got one for each of us. And my friend Marcia's. And then my sister-in-law has hers. Then I went to Blue Night rubber stamps. Last year I got the deer silhouette stamps. This year they had the dies for them. And these were $14.99. And then I got this. It's the trees and smaller deer and horses. And then it's a religious saying that I probably won't use, but for as high as the heavens are above the earth, so great is his love for those that fear him. Psalms 103:11. It's called Majestic Pines. And then this is where I learned, this was $13.99. When I was standing at the checkout register, someone had come up and asked if they had dies for all of their stamps. And he was looking for one in particular, and they told him no, and it will probably be quite some time before they'll be able to get any dies due to the tariff situation. So that might be something you look out for. If you're wanting a die, you might get it now. Then I went to Creek Bank Creations, and I got these little mini calendars for 2026. There's 10 in a pack for $4.99, and I want to make some little Post-it note holders that you put a pen down in, and they have a little calendar on the front. So I'm looking forward to making that. Then I got this sidewalk sign die. Now, this says $29.99, but I got these as a bundle deal because you can make the sidewalk sign, and it comes with happy birthday and a few other things that you can make your sidewalk board out of, or I call it a sandwich board. But then I got this one for free, which is normally $15.99. It makes a little matchbox that goes inside this sandwich board. And that is just adorable. You can put a little gift or some chocolates in there. I think it's the size of, it fits 2 Hershey nuggets, and that fits inside the sandwich board. And then the stamps for the sandwich board. Let's Party, Turning, and then they have all the different numbers. Love Makes the World Go Round, and a little pinwheel. And that was $14.99. Now, why it has the pinwheel is because you can put this pinwheel die right on the sandwich board. Now, Creek Bank does have a video showing how to do this. And that's where, when I went with my list, this was on my list to get. And then you also need these little slide guides. This makes things turn. They're like little push buttons. You put one on one side and one on the other, and then it'll spin. And you get 24 of those for $4.99. And then this was another thing that was on my list. I saw in one of their videos. This is the Straight and Steady Corner Tool. Because, you know, I have trouble putting things on card fronts straight. Well, here's a 1/2 inch square, 3/8 inch, quarter, 1/8 of an inch, 3/16, a 1/4 inch, 5/16. What you do is you put this on the corner of your card, and then you just kind of hold it down there so that when you're, I think I might tape mine down, maybe using a little washi tape. You put that in the corner, and then you put your next piece on, and you'll have a perfect, this is a 1/2 inch border all the way around. So if I had this sheet of paper and I put this down in the corner and make sure it's just lined up, then my next half sheet I would put on, just fit it down into that corner, and you've got a 1/2 inch border all the way around. So that's one thing I wanted to try out. And I'll be working with that, I think, on my next few cards. That was, oh gosh, I lost the packaging in the hotel room. I want to say this was close. It's between $20 and $30. I don't remember. But that was one thing that was on my budget. Now, there were a few things that weren't on my list, but I picked them up. This is my craft project from Dare to be Artsy. I took a class on how to make a card. And this die was used on the card I made. And I can't show you the cards, as my sister-in-law still has them in her suitcase at her house. And I'll get them Wednesday, so I'll be able to show you the cards that we made. But that was used along with this die It creates an A2 size center step card. And she used these other dies with that. This was $29.99 and $8.99. Now these weren't on my list, but I had budgeted enough money, and I actually came home with money, so I'm pleased. I have money for next year already. Oh, also at Gary Berlin, I bought the they call it Ecstatic. This is an embossing powder tool. So you put it down. So that's one thing. That was $4. And then from Brass and Bliss Craft Company, I got this adorable window die. And then this bench and lamppost. And then there's some trees and various parts. It makes that adorable little lamppost. This was $14.95. The window was $15.95. I ended up getting, you bought so many and you got something free. So I got these two things free. I bought this layered Christmas tree die, $14.95. You can put as many layers as you want and change up the colors. Then I bought this tree die. It's called Half Tree Die, which was $16.95. But I bought this because I had a card that was there. And I'm going to try and recreate the card, but make it a 5x7 card. They cut it out, but they only used this portion of the tree with the bench. And then these were leaves. This is a small flower die. Was $13.95. I got this free. But it cuts out various sizes of leaves and shapes. So that'll be cool. And then these make all sorts of little tiny cats. This would have been $11.95, but that was one of my free items. And then also from Gary Berlin, I found this very large embossing folder with paw prints. And I'm going to use that for my scrapbook pages because I'm going back and making scrapbook pages of all the pets that our family has had from when I was a child on up. And also from Stamp On It, where I got all those stickers, I got these clear acetate sheets that are stampable and heatable. So I want to try stamping and embossing on these. And you got 5 sheets for $4.95. So it's about $1 a sheet, which was not very cost effective, but I will make it work and save it all year. And then I got 2 of these free, also from Stamp On It / Eureka Stamps. These are the vintage hues that you use that glitter film on. And of course, they're kitties. They're just adorable. They're actually printed on acetate, so they're clear backgrounds. And then you put that glitter film. And let me grab it. I have that left from last year, so just a minute. So I can show you what I mean. This is the glitter film. It is a sticker that you peel off. And the glitter is impregnated right into the sticker, so you don't have sticker anywhere. And that goes on the back of the picture, makes the whole picture look glossy. So I got 2 of those same kitties because I have an idea for some thank you cards. And then this kitty. Those were just adorable. And this size will go nicer on the 5x7s. And then the last thing I got, I bought this from Marco's Paper. I bought 2 packs of the Distress watercolor cardstock from Ranger Tim Holtz. I just needed some more watercolor cardstock. And I really like the Tim Holtz paper that I got in my Simon Says card kit a couple months ago. And that is it for my haul. Thank you so much for watching. And I will be back tomorrow with a video. That is, if the weather that's expected for today doesn't take my house away, which I don't think it will, but we are projected to have some severe storms and some tornadoes, which is why I'm filming this on Monday and you're going to see it on Tuesday, just in case. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. And remember, if you go to one of these things, you don't have to spend on the credit card. I didn't use a credit card once. I used all cash. I just saved it all year long, a little bit here and a little bit there, and that was what the budget I went with. And I knew what the price of some of these things were, and then other things I just picked up. And I still came home with money. Thank you for watching. See you tomorrow.